Good evening, everyone. I don't think anybody was expecting the stream to start smoothly this time, and it did not. I was ready to go around 7:02, but as usual, it had to throw a new, interesting curveball, and it took me over 20 minutes to reboot the whole computer and set everything up. But it seems to be working now, I hope, and hopefully my audio levels are good, not doing anything weird, reverberating, because this is the most professional of podcasts. I'd like to welcome you to Answer Your Comments Live, May 28th, 2026 edition. This marks the 7th episode, if you will, of this questionable experiment that continues to evolve. Now, you should be made aware these live streams are offered to serve my narcissistic needs for attention and validation more than provide interest to a broad audience. This is my little microdot corner in social media where I can unapologetically blather on about my little YouTube channel problems to my heart's content, because no one has to put up with listening to it unwillingly. In fact, I'm hoping to spare people in every other facet of my life from me talking too much about my pokey little YouTube channel. In my mind, my videos make up a bespoke gallery of films, and it's not really proper YouTube content. And I intentionally avoid given sales standards and calls to action and stuff. I believe they're effective, but I like to think I'm sparing the audience and their time by assuming they know how YouTube works and hope they like and subscribe and share like anybody else would. Probably a mistake, I know. I also attempt to maintain the fourth wall in general and keep out appeals for engagement, subscriptions, donations, complaining about YouTube, etc. But not here in the live streams. That sort of tea is spilled here for transparency and library integrity, while addressing sorely needed support more candidly. So of course, the idea is to offer audience interaction in an extra special way by streaming sessions of me actually replying to comments while talking my way through them, in my own Dozenspeed, sorta not on camera way. This is quite manageable at the moment with the number of comments the channel is getting, even after sandbagging them for 10 weeks. I had to go on a bit of a walkabout, and then I got obsessed with the revitalizing the commercial project, which I will talk about more later. So for now, I'm going to try to address every comment in this manner, which may be appealing to some and dissuading to others, but let the chips lie where they may, I guess. I hope it's a nice gesture, a little extra unusual level to the dynamic of the channel and the point of social media, and authenticity and relatability and humanity. You are actually listening to a real human, theoretically live, if it's still 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, May 28th, 2026, where you are. But it was a human then. I am a human now. So, after the comments bit is finished, I want to talk about the local commercial project, maybe some other analytic curiosities, behind the scenes reporting for anyone who might want to know what I've got going on. And of course, chat is available for spontaneity. And that's about the end of the starter script. And I'm going to start answering comments now. I've got not very much prepared, so this is probably going to be a long, extraneous, painful process. But you're not under any obligation to watch any of it, much less all of it, so you can tune in and come out as you like, or put it on the background, or perhaps even use it to fall asleep to. You're unlikely to get any brash, loud noises, I hope. Okay. So, we don't have anybody here yet that I can see, but I don't know if anybody I don't always know. YouTube stats are not super reliable. So if you're out there and you want to chat with old Dozenspeed here on a Thursday night, I invite you to chat something, and I'll try to get to you and give you some kind of worthwhile response. But the comments were coming in really slow for a while. They've picked up a little bit in the last couple of days. And as I've mentioned, I haven't really done anything. But we're going to get started on these. Let's hammer these out. Ha! Isn't that amusing? So as usual, we have to make sure we're sorted by newest and that I've cleared all the filters so I don't miss anything. And then we're going to also check the held area, which usually doesn't have anything, but it does in this case. I know because I looked earlier. So this, I'm glad I caught this. If I waited much longer to do this stream, this might have disappeared automatically. You can see there's nothing else. But we have a post here, comment from Merryman1505. And he just wanted to share his video of it. The comment is on this video of the old Fenton Chrysler plant site. I didn't have any footage of the Chrysler plant. At best, I have an empty field. But this was what they built there, and I thought that was kind of a point of interest, and I filmed it just very, very shortly after it was constructed and all fresh. And he came in to comment on that. So I checked this out, and Merryman, the reason it got flagged was because it's a YouTube link. I think that's a setting in there, probably intentional, because I'm just a little protective of what links people might put in there. I'm not against it. I'm glad you put it in here. I appreciate you commenting it. I'm going to approve your link and put the comments in the regular section. And I wanted you to know about that. Of course, I noticed the comment shortly after it came in, but I was on walkabout. I told you. Let's go back to published. Is he... He might be down in here now. I wanted to talk about a little more. Okay, yeah, here we go. Oh, that's convenient. Well, I guess I was going to play a little bit of it. It's got some copyrighted music into it, but I shouldn't. But my message is, well, I guess you're down there back in time now. Let's go back and start at the beginning, I guess. Okay, so I think we have them all here. And we're going to go newest to oldest until we get back to where we did comments before. One moment while I do this thing. All right, I'm back here. So, Galt for Prez, I recognize that name. I don't know if I know who it really is, but it doesn't matter. And this was a comment on the post I made yesterday announcing this live stream. And they were nice enough to let me know that they were going to come by if they weren't busy. Which, you know, for what it is, I appreciate it. Well, maybe some other one. Oh, I'm trying to say some other one sometime. Thanks for the support. Have a great time playing music. That's pretty cool. He's in a band, plays music. I don't need to give him a thank you for watching, but I can give him the customary smile face. There we go. And just for extra measure, we're going to give him one of these. I have it prepared to make the process slightly less painful of sitting here. This comment was answered during the May 28th, 2026 comment live stream. Thank you. Supposed to be another happy face, I guess. I guess not. Okay, so he's good. We'll give him a reply. We'll give him a heart. Okay. On the same post, we have, this was pretty amazing. Jason Voigt says I'm there. That's great. And this is also Jason Voigt. It's his channel name, historically marked. Perhaps you know of him. I've mentioned him a couple of times in a couple of videos. He's like my YouTube buddy from the St. Louis area also. And, well, we have similar interests. We don't have similar videos, which I think is the point. Because I know him, and, well, hopefully he's going to be here. He said he would. Okay, we have someone here. Great. We have Alex saying the beginning is a very good place to start. Very true. Thanks for showing up to my stream. I presume you know what we're doing. Answering comments. Anyways, you can catch up. I'm going to try to keep this rolling here. So that's cool. Yeah, hopefully he'll show up. And he doesn't need these standard messages. He's too familiar. Okay. And here we have another guy named Matheson. And it looks like Matheson. And Joseph Matheson is a good friend of mine in real life, so I know who he is, and I know that's how it's pronounced. And I'm pretty sure Alex is related to him somehow. So, apparently one of the two found this channel and shared it. So that's pretty cool. And he is our longest running member. He signed up like right away. Look at that. 1 year. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Even if it is a pity membership just because I'm your friend. And what I think he's trying to say here on the new video that I'm excited about, 5 local St. Louis TV commercials never aired on television, is shut up and make my money. Shut up and take my money, which is the old Futurama Fry meme. Very popular, very famous. I used it myself in the money video, I believe. I am a little vague on the application, but it seems to be in good spirits. We'll give him a heart. And because he's a familiar member, I think I can skip the answering your comments stuff. He can come here if he's that interested. All right, and then the next comment on the same video is from our other member, TD0911. You've been a member for 6 months. Hooray, thank you very much. Every bit helps, I assure you. Your guys' contributions might be a double-digit percentage of the take. Another pretty vague comment, never gets old. I can only presume they're referring to the stinger at the end, the little joke shot at Hammond's bookstore that I love so much. I feel that's the part that never gets old, and I'm going to concur with that. Again, a hyper-familiar viewer, audience member, and member, so we don't need to do... Hang Hang on, I'm distracted by my other things right now. Let me click. Okay. Trying to keep it together on the right screens. Okay. But of course he gets a heart. See this little badge? Received one of the highest number of hearts from you. Isn't this behind the scenes stuff interesting for people who don't have YouTube channels? You get to watch some guy obsessed with his YouTube channel. Okay, here's another one on the new commercial video. See, I'm getting to them all eventually. I know this person. This is my good friend Sally, who is basically the head honcho at the Sappington Film Foundation. Sappington Film Foundation. That's amusing. At the Sappington Historic House Foundation. I'm saying it all wrong, but she's my big point of contact for the great access I've been given chronicling the dismantling and reconstruction of the historic Sappington cabin. Not some of my most popular work, but I think some of the most important stuff. And it's pretty exclusive. I have a lot of footage of the project that no one else got. So that is an ongoing thing. They are building the cabin right now. I go by from time to time to get little bits of update film, progressional update film. I was there not too long ago. The basement walls are all up, and at the time they were just about to put the floor in, I think. And it was pretty cool. So I got to walk around the basement of the new cabin before there was a cabin on top of it. And I have the video footage to prove it. And it will all be mashed up in the great collective archive of stuff I've acquired of that project. So they made 2 comments. They love the ending. I'm going to give them a heart for that. But we should put in some kind of responsible answer here. Glad to see you're back on YouTube. Well, it's nice to be missed by anybody, really. I was feeling pretty lonely for a while, which is why I decided to take the quarter off. I was going to say the day off. Does anybody remember a song that had the lyrics? I had this dream the other night. I went to work the other day, and nobody could remember who I was, so I decided to take the day off. If anybody out there can tell me what I'm quoting, what song I'm quoting, I will be so impressed. I suppose you could just Google it and then try to impress me. I forget about... I'm old. I forget we have Google now. Okay. All right, we got to go back to work. Welcome back. Me too. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, I love this part about doing the comments this way is I can show off all the AI responses and, you know, prove I'm not copying out and phoning it in. Oh, yeah, we got that one coming up. I should try to hide that. I should put that behind the curtain until we're ready to get to it. Okay. What do I say? Nice to know. All right, that's all you get. Oh wait, here's a chance to use this. I don't normally use this emoticon. This is not my typical emoticon, but I think it works here. We're gonna have a warm, fuzzy sensation of hug face. I don't normally go for that kind of thing. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and give her one of those. Wish you can figure out how this works without me having to bore her about it someday. Someday. Isn't this engaging, folks? I'm sure it is. Just mouse clicking in a faceless screen. Okay. Alright, so I'm not being sarcastic, Sally. Thanks, I appreciate it. And you can come here to this live stream that I've alerted you to find out more information. It's like clicking a help tab. Alright, let me check my streaming tab to make sure I'm not neglecting anybody. Okay, we look good. Don't seem to have any other customers yet. Maybe they're wisely waiting until I get through this part. Okay, so now it's going to get a little heavy. I've previewed this comment, and there's a lot to discuss here. It comes to us from Tiger Savage. Tiger Savage. I'm not sure. You can see it there for yourself. And it's on the coolest new vintage stereo store in St. Louis. Very interesting. This comment came right about the time I was launching the commercials, which of course batch 2 starts with the Alpha Tech commercial that I made. And I read through this, and I have some thoughts, and I don't necessarily need to read it out, but it is an eloquent and thorough explanation of their undesirable experience at the stereo store. And I appreciate the calm, civilized demeanor in which it's written. And if that happened to you, I can certainly understand why you were bummed. And I guess what I need to say, and my stance is that I cannot obviously speak for this company or the guy running it, or your circumstances or situation. I mean, I am not qualified to say anything about it. But I think what's important here, because this is a rather popular video of mine, and there's a lot of positive enthusiasm for this store in the comments, and not everybody, you know, you can't please everybody all the time, of course, as they say. And even the best of companies, things slip through the cracks sometimes. And it's unfortunate if you're the lucky winner of otherwise competent company dropping the ball and you being the one who slips through the cracks. I've had the experience with this in other occupations and industries. So I get it. And I think it's good that you put your side of the story up here. I have no problems or minding of it. Like I said, it was nice and civilized. You know, you're not being unnecessarily ugly or anything. I can't speak to it either way. I would like to think that if you address these problems with them, they would do something to try to make you happy or whole or some kind of way. You can get your money back or something. And c'est la vie part ways, but I don't know the details. But I do want to talk about, this is a little meta, I guess, but I found a video of the Frenchtown Audio Alpha Tech Superstore thing on YouTube that was only put out a couple of weeks ago, and it was from a very new stereo-centric channel. I mean, all their stuff is stereo stuff. And he went there and actually interviewed the owner on camera, which was pretty cool to see. And he did his video of the place talking about it. He was obviously a fan and enthused, and it was pretty cool to get an interview with that guy. My video doesn't feature an interview with him. It features an interview with a customer, but not that I wouldn't, you know, I would. So I can't speak to it either way. But I just want to say, Mr. Tiger, I did notice you posted the same comment there too. So this is obviously important to you, and it's a, you know, sounds like a bad situation, but I'm hopefully, you know, at the end of the day, it'll all work out for the best. So I need to tell you I should have written some of that out, huh? Um, I let's see, appreciate. How do you spell that? Appreciate. Hey, I got it right. I appreciate a. I don't want to say calm or civil, rash. You know, I mean, I'm trying not to be insulting. I there's a word here that would be good to use, but I'm not thinking of it. I don't know. I'll just put civilized complaint. What I'm trying to say here, this is, I don't mind this. Can't really do anything about it. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. Is that the phrase? I appreciate a civilized complaint. Alright, let's do this. Let's do that. We'll give him a happy face. Or, well, maybe not a happy face. We gotta get this right. Emoticons mean everything. You don't want to be misinterpreted. Oh. This is harder than I thought. All right. Okay, where's the one I want? I figured out. I remember where it is. Yep, here we go. Aha. This is important. Okay. All right. Straight line face guys. Okay, I gotta think like a public relations lawyer. I cannot speak one way or another to the situation you describe. But I hope for the best resolution. Thank you. Oh, let me better type it out. I don't know this guy. He seems new. Thank you for watching. And copy standard happy face. And so that we know he knows what I said about him online. Let's alert him. Okay. There's a risk I'm running here that he's going to withdraw his comment and it'll all be for naught, but that's going to be what it is. Let's do an extra happy face. And we'll hit reply. We'll give him a like for participating, but it's hard to love a comment like that, as you can understand. I don't want to love comments of animosity and problems. I like my rose-colored spectacles. Can't talk. Okay, we have another customer. It's Renee. Good old reliable Renee. We're about to answer some of your questions here. Just a moment. I have to check on something. Oh, that's not good. I'm doing it wrong. All right. So I made a mistake here. I am sorry about the squiggly arrows at the bottom. It's a software bug that comes up from the way I have it configured, and there's a way to avoid them showing up, and I forgot to do the thing that keeps them from showing up for some reason. Darn. There's no way to get rid of it without restarting the software, I don't think. Boy, that's annoying. Alright, guess we'll just have to live with it. I don't want to stop the stream now. I managed to get 2 fish on the hook. And if I quit streaming, they might not come back. Okay. Darn. I forgot about that. I didn't realize I was doing it. I'm kind of just working with this one page. Hey, if you're lucky, I won't go on a rant about what new exciting problems it's never done to me before I couldn't possibly anticipate that would arise at the moment of starting a live stream I promised to start. You can't expect the audience to... All they know is I didn't show up when I said I did. And I hate that. What's the point of being on time if no one knows? Because of a glitch in the matrix. Alright, am I done with this? We gave him the thumbs up. Okay, compliment. Right, alright. Renee's here. We have squiggly arrows on the bottom of the screen. I hope no one is epileptic. Is that it? Photosensitive. This next comment from good old Renee. Look, she or he has a badge. I guess I don't know. Renee could be either gender. I guess I've only known female Renees, so I just default to that. My apologies. You know how everybody is about getting those things right. On another 101 abandoned homes and buildings in North St. Louis City, the follow-up to my first video from back in 2019, which was pretty popular. Got a lot of background surface traction for a long time. This one hasn't hit quite as hard, but that's fine. I didn't expect it to. I was hoping it wouldn't be quite that lowly watched, but Renee always has nice things to say, and this time they said just rewatch this amazing video. Amazing in the most positive sense, but the footage is also amazing in a disturbing sense. Okay? Hard to grasp why people trash their homes. All the homes are damaged in the same way. Windows are broken, bricks missing. They all look alike. Is this because some were trashed by their inhabitants and the rest vandalized? We have much to explain at the pearly gates. And future generations, I would say. Yeah, probably trashed by inhabitants and the rest vandalized in some combinationary way. Sure. Kind of preaching to the choir. I'll just give you a heart. Keep your high heart status going. That'll look good. Since I think you're here now, I don't need to tell you I answered this on this live stream, so I'm going to skip it. And we can move on. Is there anything else I need to say about that? I can't think of it. Okay. Moving on to the next one. We're back at that video, which was really quiet for a long time, but has piqued a little interest here and there, as these things do. And it's the Fenton Chrysler plant site, not the plant itself. But we have a Jacko Eater? Esterly? I'm not sure. You can read it for yourself, maybe. You know who you are, Jack O. Eater Lee Jr. I'm sure I'm botching that up, but that's okay. 3454. I can get that part right. I worked here, just sad, 1977 to 2007. Great. I appreciate people who were there, coming in on my videos, offering their little anecdotal. Thank you very much. I remember it being there. I actually had to go there on 1 or 2 occasions. Once upon a time. For one reason or another. And, I was way younger. I never thought, when something like that is in your frequent travels, it's hard, growing up with it, it's hard to imagine it ever being gone. Then you live a few years and more and more things have disappeared from your life, and you start to notice, you start to think about things. We need to, this looks like a new guy. I don't recognize him. I'm sorry if you were here before and I don't recognize you, but we're going to give him one of those, and he can come here and find it. I wonder if I could be really clever and somehow put the link to the live stream in here so that they could just directly click the live stream. I think YouTube invents the URL first, so that should be possible. I'm looking for my happy face. Trying to stay on task. I feel a pressure to keep the thing going, to not bore people, but maybe I shouldn't care. Okay, so we are back from 2 weeks ago, so all these comments so far very, very recent. But then that was from 3 days ago. This is from 2 weeks ago. Appreciate your patience. Hopefully it will become known that I will try to get to your comment. And if you can just be patient long enough. Some of these are older than that. Alright. I'm gonna have to... Boy, those arrows are annoying. I'm so sorry, guys. I goobered that up. Alright. Pardon me a moment while I pause for station identification. had some concerns with whether or not the music was still going. Okay. Go back to the community tab. And I need to go to the live streaming chat. Okay. Good thing it's so quiet. It's hard for me to keep up with 3 windows, much less pay attention to the chat. That doesn't mean you have to be quiet, though. Anybody else out there? Alex, Renee, you don't have to comment again to make me happy, but hey, let's see some other people too. I'm at the point where I'm asking. These are the live streams. This is where all of the pretentiousness is thrown out the window. I hope the levels are good. Feel free to tell me. I hope the music is there in good balance with the rest of me. Okay, we are going to get back to the comments. I'm just trying to monitor all these systems. I don't need... Oh, okay. Okay. So let's turn it here. All right. All right. Okay. TD0911 has this comment on an old... From 2 weeks ago, he went back in time to an old post. This one here from March 2nd. I do like the fact I date my posts. It helps, I don't know. It works for me. What can I say? When you scroll through people's old community tabs, which I think is virtually unheard of, you really lose the plot on that scope of time. And having a date stamp on there just kind of cures that. So he says a video on the Millennium Hotel coming down would be neat. I know. I agree. But But I cannot compete, hello, or really add anything that isn't already out there. This is a good time for me to complain and whinge on like an old grumpy guy. I don't have to worry about not naming names because I don't know the names. But you could probably figure this out from the story. And this isn't the only case, the first case I have seen this. But the Millennium Hotel is a slightly sore subject. Let me finish commenting here. I know I agree, but I cannot compete or really add anything that isn't already out there. Alright, that's good enough for the text portion. Let's wrap this up while I finish my verbal explanation. No, wait. We don't need that. We need something pitiful. I don't really use this emoticon very often. And even though he doesn't need it, we know who he is. We'll give him a thank you for watching. Okay. And I'll go ahead and give you a heart. Throw them out liberally like candy. Okay, so my story about the Millennium Hotel, it's not really a story. I'll try to make this quick. frustrates me that people manage to gain access to certain things I want to film the way I would like to film them. And they get the access perhaps in I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. I have to be very careful. Just because I want to, not because I probably need to, but just because I want to. But it's frustrating to see someone get such access I desire, and they have to really push certain envelopes to do it. And they then proceed to do a job of it that I don't. And I don't like it. It bothers me. So I guess in short, I'm trying to say it annoys me when people get places I can't by breaking the rules and then doing a bad job of it. There. Now I'm over my soapbox. That was so drawn out and painful and annoying. I should have my opinions ready to go. Alright, am I done with this comment? Okay, there's my Millennium stuff. Alright. Okay, now here's another can of worms I've been wanting to talk about. This is TDO911 again, of course, commenting on a video called, you might have seen it, I paid for a Dozenspeed membership on YouTube, and all I got to watch was this lousy 2-minute video. And since there are 2 members, only 2 people have theoretically been able to watch it. The joke is, well, I think the joke is pretty obvious, but also the joke is there's only 1 member video. And I said in my money video, I didn't want to do members only videos. But like the No Homers Club, I'm allowed to have 1. And that was the joke. And it's not even worth it. Because the whole premise of the memberships is that I'm really offering you nothing. I'm just here to collect money for the sake of collecting money. In order to focus more on producing stuff more than focusing on tactics and distractions and gaming systems and things like that. Now, how well it works, that's highly subjective, but that's the idea. And it does matter. It does have an effect. But that's neither here nor there. I know he watched it when that video came out. That video is months old. It says it came out only 2 months ago, but that's not correct. And that's another point of frustration. So it was classified as a members only video, and it would sit there on the home page. In fact, I can probably pull this up. Here's my home page. And you can see it's here. And it's not supposed to be here. This was published long time ago. And this is so annoying. So during some channel calibrations, I had changed the status of this video to, I want to say private or unlisted for a temporary period of time. And when I went to turn it back on, it, for one, turned it public for a second instead of back to members. And somehow when it did that, it updated the publish date. So it's not supposed to be up here. It's supposed to be way down here somewhere because it's not the focus. You notice there's not a lot of member only videos. Here, look. This is where the joke comes off. Members only videos. There's only one, and it's called this silly thing. That's the whole joke. However, I'm at a point because YouTube moved it. I don't like it being here, so I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess the joke still stands. Because it's all goofed up now, and because after 365 days, the membership program has only managed to attract 2. It's not really doing anything or hitting anything, so I'm probably going to take it down. I could probably do that right now. I left it up here because everything was just kind of been in limbo here on the channel, and I'm going to take it down. But I was waiting until I could address this comment and explain the situation. No, that's not what I want. I'm not going to delete it, but we're going to... We'll just hide it for now. Because it petered out. Okay. There we go. Now our channel looks nice and respectable with our... Of course you have to do that, don't you? With our... nice portfolio collection gallery of videos. Now, I'd like to ask people, when I'm scrolling through my page and it suggests one of my own videos at me, obviously because I made the thumbnail and it's my video, it's just screams to me like a beacon. And I was just wondering, from an outsider's perception, is there a vibe or a style at all to these thumbnails? Can you kind of sense what might be one of my videos out the corner of your eye in a sea of thumbnails? I'm just kind of curious how that works. I cannot possibly be any kind of valid person of perception on it, because like I said, they are extremely obvious to me. All right. So that's what's up with that. I answered your comment. You don't need me to tell you about it. I do appreciate it. I mean, it's properly in the spirit. Best member only video I've ever been allowed to watch. I love the way you phrased it. Been allowed to watch. That's very good. I must have an extremely small Venn diagram of people on my level of humor. It's really hard to find them, apparently. Because I've been at this a while. And okay, where am I at? Let's check the live streaming. Okay. Morticia Jones is telling me blue seems to be my favorite color. It's all my thumbnails. Okay. I think a lot of it's because a lot of them are outdoors and you see the sky. So there's just a lot of naturally blue. And of course I enhance it because I oversaturate the blue to make the thumbnail pop and pathetic, peacocking, attention-getting, YouTube competing shenanigans. Thank you. Thank you, Morticia Jones. That's an interesting name. I like it. Okay. Oh, we're back to Merryman's teardown video. We already addressed this. Oh yeah, but I didn't do the hard bit yet. So let's neat. Thanks for sharing. Your comment was hung up and held. That sounds weird, but hopefully he'll figure it out. Your comment was hung up and held. Let's do it the hard way. Comments because of the link, but I don't mind in this case. That's important. Don't just think you can link all kinds of stuff. This is a pertinent, valid link. I do not mind that. But of course I have to set the settings to lowest common denominator. We'll give him a happy face. Let me go back to my happy face screen. Must not have had very happy comments lately because I'm missing. There we go. Come on, happy face. There we go. Copy the happy face. Because I can't use emoticons from this page answering my comments. Just another thing to gripe at YouTube about that they never fix. But I don't mind in this case. I'm glad you thought to film this for posterity. Cheers. Guess I don't need to say thank you for watching again. We'll give him this one though. He might not see this coming. Oh good, I can hear my. Hey, where's my thing? Thank you. Did we get 2 of them? No. All right. Back to happy face. Copy. One more. Paste. All right. We reply. We hit the heart, and we can move on. Here's a very good comment. This is a great one. I saw this when you put it out. Ninja Dylan K7Q2I, which sounds like a rambly model name for an automobile. I don't know. I don't think you came up with that, though, did you? I don't know. Whatever. Ninja Dylan. That's probably what they intended to be named. And they commented on a mostly worthless video of the iconic Wagon Wheel Motel on Route 66. For those who are familiar with it, and they bring us the information that Connie, the owner, who, even when this was made, was in the market for selling it. She took her sweet time selling it to the right person. And it sounds like she got the right person. Just sold it to Roman Rich and his wife in April 2026. Thank you for letting me know on my little video. Thank you for the information. That sounds like a optimal arrangement. Okay. Very glad to hear it. So, for other people who may not know, Roman Rich is a big Route 66 enthusiast and is single-handedly bought a historic Route 66 motel. It was in sad dire shape and is passionately refurbishing it. And I did a little kind of video about it to some degree, a little 5-minute thing just showing some progress from a couple dates. It's down in Sullivan, called the Shamrock. And so that's a great person to do that. I'm so glad that things are going well for him to where he's actually expanding. I don't think the Shamrock is even open yet, and he's already thinking about the next step. He's going to be a historic Route 66 motel mogul. But he's the kind of person you want. You want Roman Rich doing that, not some venture capital firm. Which, success could possibly be measured by the eventual selling out in a few decades. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully some things can be kept in the hands of the passionate. Very glad to hear it. I guess we're done, because we're going to let Ninja know about this interaction. Let me get back. So, well, no, not that one. Well, maybe that one's okay. Copy. Just go to the standard happy face. Think. He's getting all of them. Thank you for watching. Full out, no acronym. And of course, this whole thing. Boy, I sure hope this does not dissuade people from commenting on my videos. It's supposed to have the opposite effect. It's supposed to be kind of encouraging. I'm trying to bring you a curated experience. How am I doing? There we go. All formatted. Make sure they get the heart. In fact, we should pin this puppy. Okay. It's gonna want me to do that this way, I guess. You're quick YouTube. Let's pin this bad boy. Hooray. I don't think anything else was pinned anyway. Okay. Very, very good. Next one from a whole month ago. Scanman84. Fantastic. Great looking store. Go vintage on the coolest new vintage stereo store in St. Louis. Obviously, that's a very heartable comment, so he gets one of those. I think so too. That's the plan, and thanks are the AI generic responses of insipidness. I think in this case, oh boy, I don't want to deprive him of letting him know of the live comment stream thing. He should get a notification that I hearted his comment after over a month, because I'm so attentive to my own channel. And maybe he'll figure it out on his own. See, I'm already losing motivation to pester everybody. Well, we'll let it go. Hopefully they'll come back on some other video. That is an awfully popular one. I think a lot of people, this is the only video of mine they ever watched, so he could be in that category, and maybe it's not worth the cost of the flyer. All right, here is one from a long time ago. Burnsy, Burnsy Cunningham 7619. On the video, a lone soul rides on the Del Mar Loop trolley, who asks why make such a negative video. And that's very curious because this is not a negative video at all. And now I guess I need to try to explain this. So I'm going to, before I get into this, I'm going to take a short break for just a minute or two while I get some more delicious beverage. Try to keep my speaking voice from completely falling apart. Which thing am I looking for? Alright, we're cool. There we go. This button. Alright, I'll be right back. I figured nobody wants to really hear my drinking and swallowing noises, so
Yeah.
putting the squelch button on. Okay. Here we go. Ha! I fooled ya. It's not a negative. Let me see if I can type negative video. Actually, my goodness. This is the problem when there's no letters on your keyboard. If you've ever watched an earlier live stream, you may know that I'm still typing on a sticky 2009 Rocketfish. I don't even know if they make keyboards anymore. Ha, I fooled you. It's not a negative video, actually. I was being sarcastic. Okay, that's a good way to explain it. Being sarcastic for the first minute. See, that way I could avoid saying, you didn't watch the video. Oh, darn it. I just revealed my secret on how to try to be tactful. I was being sarcastic for the first minute. I was being. The message was, I feel like I'm the only, goodness, going too fast, only one who likes it. who likes the Del Mar trolley? I invite you to try to watch it again. We need a happy face. Oh, I can do this. Thanks for checking it out. And let him know this was answered. Paste. And grab our happy face. And we're going to give you a triple happy face. We're going to give you one there. And we're going to give you one there. And we're going to give you one there. Hooray. And you still get a heart. Because you admitted I fooled you with my tomfoolery, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. Why make such a negative video? Ha, I fooled you. It's not a negative video. I actually being sarcastic for the first minute. Message was, I feel like I'm the only one who likes it, Elmer Shawley. I invite you to try and watch it again. Alright. I hope that is taken with the reasonable, respectful manner in which I intended it. Reply. Okay. Now this is a little deceptive. Checking out my live streams, okay. No new commenters. It says we have 4 viewers. I'm guessing that's the 3 of you and me. But hey, that's better than just me. So thanks for being here. I thought a couple more people who gonna be here. But no big deal. That's what replays are for. Train developer called my video that I called 5 Minutes of Eternity at the world's longest traffic signal in Wisconsin. The peak is the peak content. Apparently I gave them my heart because I couldn't resist. Thank you. This could be someone I've met. This could be someone involved with the Wabash Frisco Railroad or whatnot. Okay. And now here's one. Sadly, we've been neglecting for 2 months. Custom action. There we go. I can read. Thank you for this. Planning on visiting in a few weeks for a photo shoot, and this is very helpful. This is on the video, the mile-long wall where graffiti is encouraged. I'll give him a very cool. Oh, shoot. Well, here we go. You probably found the long uninterrupted pass music video 2. That one will really let you scope out a spot. Sure, why not? thank you for watching, and good luck. Good lick. Good luck. I'm a good typist. Oh my gosh, Butterfingers, come on. There we go. Bum bum bum. There we go. Dot dot dot. Can we be efficient? Sneak it in now and then go back to this and grab this and copy that and jam it here. Hooray. There we go. I think we've got everything in a row. Kerplunk. Kerplunk. Why did I mention the other video? Boy, this print is probably really small. Is it stupidly small? I love how it just keeps reverting settings. I already put this... Oh, computers, they're aggravating, am I right, folks? My gosh, they're constantly disobeying you. You change settings and it reverts your settings all the time. Doing stupid stuff. Okay, so we're in the live stream. I'm going to complain about YouTube and my YouTube channel and stuff like that. I don't like to let my videos... There's a tab you can put for allow others to remix your videos for shorts or something, or clip them or something like that. And I don't know, defensive old-fashioned guy, I don't really like that. I don't really care about the marketing and the hype and the distribution and all the different ways we can connect and trick people into views. If, I want them to come to my channel and sit down and chill out and watch. I mean, my content, you have to be in a mood for. You can't, squeeze in much of what I make during a 2-minute bathroom break or something. You really have to be in a mood, sit down with a dinner, maybe your favorite inebriation, and just relax and have a good time. A calm serenity sanctuary from the noise and the world on fire ending screaming you're gonna die if you don't act now stuff. This channel's supposed to be calm and mellow. And so anyway, my point is, for like the 5th time, YouTube has gone back and selected at least some of my videos back to allow remixing. Even though I adamantly say don't allow remixing on every video I publish, they keep just reselecting what they want. I suppose we're lucky they still give us checkboxes, but at this point, if you're being that deceptive with things, another thing too is, well, okay, if you upload a new video, it will remember some of your past settings the way you like them, but not all of them. It won't let you save all of your settings. So some settings you have to click and turn off each and every time, and some settings you don't. So every time I upload a video, I have to painstakingly make sure that they put things how I wanted. And like the stuff that feeds their AI models, they automatically default all of them on for you. If you don't, turn them off deliberately, they're just going to do whatever they want with it. And I just, I don't like the kind of relentless, we'll call it coaxing, C-O-A-X-I-N-G, coaxing, we'll call it that, to be nice. I'm sure I could find a ruder word. Yeah, so this has probably been pretty miserable to watch. You probably can't read anything about what I'm talking about. So, there, I finally fixed that. By the time I get to the, I would say, 45th one of these live streams, I might know what I'm doing, and it might be a slick polish production, but I'm just putzing around over here on my channel without a care in the world to anybody's time, including mine, as I still have a lot to talk about. We're still messing around with comments. If you need to go home and go, well, you might be at home. If you need to click off and go to bed, no worries. Thanks for coming, but I have more stuff to do. Do I have anybody else yet? Okay, no. Nice and cool. Oh, 6 concurrent viewers. That's kind of exciting. That's true. Anybody new, welcome. Feel free to chat. Sorry about the squiggly arrows. Long story. If you watch the replay one day, you'll get an explanation. Or maybe I'll complain about it again. You never know. This unpredictable, faceless adventure we're on. Alright, now that I'm all distracted. We got those. Okay. Now, here we go. We're all the way back at GRM Adventures from 2 months ago. I think I answered this. Why is there not a... Hold on. GRM Adventures. He's got more stuff. Okay. Alright, good. So, I answered some of his comments back in the last live stream. Can you believe that was 10 weeks ago? March 8th. Oh boy, where does it go? So that means we're almost done with this section because we are kind of back where we started, and I am out of interest and energy to go any deeper than that this time. But I have thought sometimes it might be interesting and fun to go through very old comments on select videos. And I don't get notified of people's responses to responses, so sometimes new stuff comes up in there that I haven't seen before or found, which reminds me of something else I was going to point out, another little YouTube trickery, but we're going to try to wrap up one thing before we move on to something else. This is a comment, it's hard for me to figure out what I want to say about it. It's from Carly Shea, N7E. I'm sorry if I don't recognize your name from previous posts or whatnot. It's possible. But next time you do a video like this, please don't include the other terrible retail people. Hard to love a comment like that. I don't know what to say. I'm not totally sure what terrible retail people there are that you're talking to. I don't want to say anything like that. I mean, thanks for the advice. Thanks for commenting. What do I do about this, folks? And it's going to get worse. I know that some people can really be... What's going on here? What are you doing? I have weird things going on the other YouTube page. Okay, is it okay? Are we live? I think so. Let me check this thing. We have sound levels on music and microphones, so I think I'm good. I hope I'm not adding more annoying clicky arrows, but I might be. I'm trying my best. I won't bother explaining to you the problem. Hey look, that's cool. Doesn't get rid of annoying stroboscopic arrows. Okay. I'll just sit here and be stubborn. Oh, I'm really stuck on this one. Okay, alright. Let's be stupid. Let's just be stupid and insipid. This is a lame response. I'll try. That's all you get. I don't even want to bring attention to it. But for the sake of closure and completeness and trying to answer and address all the comments, at least in a live stream, I guess I could cop out and address them here for the real good die-hard audience here. Okay. And then I guess on a, well, one final note is GRM Adventures, who, you know, replied to this back in the day, and we were talking about the vintage mall for sale video. I just want to say again, I thank you very much for your encouraging, supportive, positive comments about my videos. Like any human, it's hard to get enough of that kind of thing, and of course, a lot of people in the world like to tear you down and find a negative take on everything. So it's just, I wanted you to know I really appreciate it again, even though I said it before. I still really do, and you were the highlight comment of everything that came out of that video, pretty much so far. I had hoped more of the people I featured in it would have swung by and said hi. That's what I was sort of expecting a little bit. Maybe one or two people. I think I featured about 9 or 10 creators in it. And one guy showed up for the premiere. That was awesome. Appreciate him. But that was kind of it. You were kind of the only 2 mall guys, I would say, graced me with their presence. So thank you again. And I think we're done. The other thing I wanted to look at, I want to show you this. We'll go back up to this 101, another 101 abandoned videos. I want to just show you something about how YouTube operates. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Let's open this up in here. I'm going to show you this. This kind of threw me off for a bit, but just so you know, see how it says 13 comments now, but you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comments. It says there's 13. So where are the other 5? Well, top is selected, so you'll see featured comments. And when you do a video like this, you're going to invite some negative sentiments from certain people. There's some pretty unpleasant things said in the original ones, but that's to be expected, and nothing got too out of hand. So it is what it is. Sorry to drill that phrase into the ground. But it's so useful. Okay, if you sort by newest, then it'll give you all 13. So it's like YouTube is kind of shadow banning the negative side of the comments. It's not really shadow banning, but you see how they didn't show up in top comments, but look, they're all here. So we've got this guy. Wow, I disliked his comment. You weren't supposed to know that, but that's okay. I don't mind. Boy, that's really rare. I almost never dislike a comment. But Joe Blow has made a number of comments on a number of videos. I haven't seen him in a while, but he's made plenty of contributions. He seems to be having a hard time finding his optimistic side of things. And what did I say? Diversity isn't the problem. He uses emotional blackmail. Okay. Why am I trying to fight anybody? No one cares anyway. Look. So I suppose that's a good thing, but I don't want to be totally shielded from... Oh, that's weird. Totally shielded from truths. I don't want to be some kind of gatekeeper or censor taker. If you have an intelligent, profound, thoughtful complaint or warning, like the guy in the stereo store video, that's valid. It's important. That's how we know what's good and how we stay on the right and narrow. When something is not right, it should be called out. But it just seems to not be very constructive. And maybe they think, that they're trying out this community and seeing if there's other people who have a hard time looking favorably on our fair city. And I'm sure there's plenty of other places where you can find satisfaction of that. And this is probably not it. We're kind of happy, dopey, optimistic people here. At least that's what I feel like I'm trying to be. And, all right. So, there we go. We don't have any new comments from anybody asking me any questions. But we're done with the comment section. What did I say I was going to do? And talk about my local commercial project and other analytic curiosities. Well, okay. I guess I got to talk about the local commercials. Of course, I started that back in 2020, going around to places, trying to convince store owners to let me make these commercials. And I eventually got 5 of them, and I put that video collection together back in 2020, and it was good. Nothing viral, obviously. Where am I at? And it got sidelined for a long time. It takes a lot of my social battery to produce those, shall we say. I'm not prepared for this part of the story. Hang on. Let's refresh this, see if there's any newest. Okay, we're good. Almost added another flashy arrow by accident. Here we go. There's my channel. With the new commercials on it. So I'm very excited about that. There's going to be another batch coming. I have 3 of them done. Well, okay, that's not true. I don't have 3 of them done. I have 3 of them filmed, and that's a big part of the battle. And I want to do another series of 5 because, well, we're clawing and scraping and scrapping from the ground up. So if I can get 5 put together to make a volume, that's great. I'm hoping in the future that this will be more popular and accepted than it is at the moment, and the batches will get bigger and eventually be 6, 10, 15 maybe, I don't know, commercials per gallery. It just depends on how many happen and how fast I want to get them out. I haven't had any commercials on the top of the homepage for a very long time, and it just it got important to get something up on there that I can point to, because trying to explain this to people is tricky enough. Now I have a 5-minute video that all in one shows you examples of commercials and an explanation of how it works, because I think what I'm doing is very unusual. And if you're anything like me, it seems like the world is rife with scams. People come up with scams I could never dream of, and I hear about them and I go, wow, I can't believe they thought of it and executed it, and now there's a new rule or restriction we all have to deal with because of it. So I want to be very understanding of the idea that these people have no idea who I am and what my intentions are. So I'm working very, very hard to assure and prove it. And I'm just gonna, stake the reputation on it, keep going, I was very hung up on getting the video done. I didn't want to tell anybody that it was really coming or pre-announce it, put any undue pressure on myself. I have enough pressure on myself, period, just with only me knowing about it. So it was a huge relief to get that up on the air. It was kind of blocking all of my other thinking and projects. And once I got that up, I could concentrate on the next thing, which was this live stream, which we are doing now. And it too will soon be over and in the can, and I will have done another thing I said I would do, which is not very often. I have 3 more coming, another toy store, a antique and record store, and a like a little shopping boutique of interest. And I have other things going on with other places. Things are in different states. There's a couple of things. There's one place I would like to get some more footage of, and there's another place that I've written a script for that I would like to see if I can get it performed, kind of in the vein of Hammond's books. I don't want to be the one narrating all of these. I wish I had a better narrator voice. The guy who did the Helfers commercial, boy, it'd be great if he did all of my commercials. That guy's voice is just made for radio. And I got him to do that one, but that is not an easy arrangement. But never say never. I don't want to bug the poor guy about it, and I certainly can't afford to pay him anything. But he really did. He had a great natural advertising voice. You go listen to that video. It's good stuff. Okay. And hopefully we're going to go from there. I'm going back and forth trying to come up with the most effective tactic to getting access, permission, whatever, to these commercials. I have to make a sales pitch that I'm usually not prepared for to a stranger who all react different ways. I'm trying to keep in mind, how I might come across and successfully try to convince them in a way. I'll tell you what I get the most is the owner isn't here. You can email them or, ask them or something like that. And I haven't been the best follower-upper. I will go back to a place a second time as a follow-up, try to catch the owner. Unfortunately, I have to go in and start asking questions like, is this your shop? To which, half the time, the owner they're immediately on guard. They probably think I'm from some agency or some reporter thing, and I have to, as quickly as possible, let them know that even though this is ridiculous and unheard of and doesn't make any sense, that I'm just trying to be a local business supporter in my own little way within my own little means. And having this video now, I can use this as a huge sales tool. I'm very excited about that. And the next phase, I have something tangible, so to speak, to help me make my case. Now, that aside, I am not the biggest email person, but I have decided to try to put some more efforts into that. Emails take me a long time to write, because they do. But I managed to get 3 of them sent out today, because sometimes they'll give me a business card, and I get it, that's what I'm supposed to do. But I've had really good luck just showing up at a place unannounced, asking for the owner, and, more often than you would think, getting filming permission on the spot. In fact, I would say most of the ones you've seen have kind of been like that. Kirkwood Popcorn was on the spot. I filmed a lot more at the book house and had a nice talk with her. She's got some interesting stories. And, Alpha Tech, they already know about all the filming stuff I've done. And, the guy who owns Alpha Tech also owns the records antique store that's going to be in the next batch. I'm trying to think of what else. Frisco Trains. That was a cool place. That train store with the wooden trains. I knew about it. Never got a chance to get in there and talk to anybody, but they gave me filming permission on the spot, and I think that's a cool little charming commercial. So I go back and forth on my different tactics, how to do it. I'm really hoping for a snowball effect. Now that I've got a video, I can use this as a sales tool to get more people on board. The more evidence that people have done this and Armageddon did not happen adds to it. So, yeah, quite an endeavor starting this from scratch. I've been halfway trying almost this whole time. I've been going to many places. I got these business cards I have made up to help people find the channel and stuff and lend an air of official authenticity to what the project is. And I passed out a lot of those in sort of, with a little hesitation, I guess. Been trying to keep the sales pitches going and hoping that if I passed out enough cards with the email on it, one person would be like, hey, you were telling me about this idea, it sounds cool and whatever. So there's a certain amount of persistence, I think, that I should put into it. But I don't want to be a pest. So I'll go a place once or twice, not real close together, trying to let people breathe and whatnot. But at the same time, I know from experience, if I don't push and pester a little bit, nothing ever gets done. And I want it to be easier. I don't want to be awkwardly trying to be a salesman, convincing them I'm not a scam. I want a reputation and a trail of evidence, a mark of whatever that can let people know, that I'm an okay dude. And I am what I say I am. In one of the emails I wrote out today, I kind of went off a little bit about, I'm very adamant about everyone knowing, so this is very important for everyone here listening to this. I'm very adamant about everyone knowing that I am not interested in any kind of freebies or special treatment from any of these companies or businesses I'm doing these commercials for. I almost am actually very resistive to it, just because it's so important to me that I don't get considered for a moment to be lumped in with some of the arrogant, entitled type of people who are out there with a camera making content, featuring businesses. You can probably imagine this, right? There's some people, they've got a stronger ego than I do, and they place a lot of importance on what they're doing, and in doing so, they kind of develop expectations. Hey, I'm gonna come to your pizza parlor and put you on TikTok and talk about your pizza, maybe how much I like it, but I need you to give me a free pizza so I can do this for you. And I I can't do that. I cannot. I don't want to be that guy so bad. I will pay for it out of my pocket or something. I paid for helpers. Now, they gave me some freebies anyway, and I don't want to be ingracious. If they're genuinely appreciative and they want to give me a free cherry croissant for making the commercial, but I'm not going to come in and ask. I think there's a very interesting little balance, but uh, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about people who can be belligerent and trying to keep in mind that that maybe these business owners have had this sort of experience before, and I'm walking in like an innocent, bright-eyed kid thinking everything's rosy, and they'd be happy to do a little artsy video with me just for fun of it, and they, who knows what might have happened to them before. So, always smart to be kind of slightly prepared for the possibility of a bad reaction. But that's not my doing, it's not my fault, and that shouldn't discourage me. I haven't had anything like that at all, just, mostly people never getting back to me, which, that's fine. We're all busy and all things get lost. There's a couple of people I need to email and get back to. I'm just coming out of a obsessive phase. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if it shows, but I just want to say I feel I put an insane amount of labor into that 2.5 minutes of scrap video in there. Of course, they're the 30-second format as per tradition. And is this a good screen? This is a boring screen. Should I have at least this screen going so you can at least watch St. Louis go by while I ramble? The 3 people who are here, thank you for being here. I see Historically Marked has made it as he promised. He says, thanks. That's okay about the emails. I was talking about that a while ago. I saw you come up, but I was on a tear. But thanks for coming and supporting and telling the YouTube algorithm that there is something here. Something here. Okay. Is that it for the commercials that I want to talk about? The snowball effect is some of these people might have more than one location. They have friends and business communities. If I feel confident that if I have a good ethical attitude and keep on, that it's gonna catch on, and the references will come. It'll be easier for me. People will be emailing me, and I can get a nice variety of commercials. I can expound on this because we're in a live stream, buried way deep, 2 hours into some rambling nonsense from an old man. So it's safe that only the diest hard will hear these kind of things. And I totally lost my train of thought. I was trying to say something about being a 30-second format. Oh, yeah, I obviously I'm going to have to draw some limits on some businesses. There's certain things, not very many, things that I don't want to advertise on the channel in this way. Generally, innocent, happy, wholesome type of things, but with a big fat variety as much as possible. So going into that a little bit, I don't know if it's easier to tell you what kind of businesses I don't want to do. Of course, they have to be kind of local. And local is a subjective term. It doesn't have to necessarily be local to me. It could be a local business that's local to somebody else. For example, If I go on a road trip all the way to the East Coast and I stop at a local business in Kentucky, well, I could make a commercial for that. It's a local business. It doesn't have to be around us. Um, but it does have to be a local business, and it doesn't have to be a small local business. I would do a Johnny Londoff commercial if I could. Now, they don't need me and they have real advertising and all that stuff. But let's just say, theoretically, they want to be included in the art project just as a measure of St. Louis local hometown whimsy. Well, that would be great. And I could do my 1980s budget style lame commercial outside of their different zone of normal advertising, completely unaffecting their normal marketing. This is just a side project for fun. This, I want to tell you, businesses, I want you to consider that if you will let me, if you have a commercial in my thing, the message to everyone in the audience, St. Louis viewers, St. Louis centric interested people, is that you're a good sport and you stand, you're real, and you stand with the local whatever. That's my hope. And hopefully it will become like a thing. And I don't want to speculate any further. It's up to me to keep the train going right now. It's honestly just about all on my shoulders. This is no one else's plan or structure at all. I am absolutely winging it. And even the things I feature are just without rhyme and reason. There's loads of places to find. There's loads of places to inquire. But each time I'm going to walk in the front door, I have to weigh it all. And I'm looking forward to perhaps some momentum, some inspiration, some encouragement to, get the ball rolling. But I'm going to keep trying. It just would go faster. It would go faster if I had a few people coming to me about it. I don't, I'm trying to make them nice and diverse geographically and the type of business. I don't really want to do. I would say convenience stores would be tricky. I don't want to, and there's funny lines. I have to kind of decide each one. I might do a tobacconist, but I might not really be interested in doing a straight vape shop or a dispensary or a, standalone type of liquor store. I said I would do like Johnny Londoff, even though like a big company, and I would do Schnucks because they're from St. Louis. Now, obviously, they have 100 stores and all that other stuff. I can't imagine ever having a Schnucks ad in this collection, but that doesn't mean they're disqualified from my point of view, if that makes sense. I'm not even expecting to work my way up to such a thing. But I'm saying for the record, I wouldn't say no. And a franchise would be okay if it is a St. Louis-based historical franchise, such as Emo's or Chuck's Hot Chicken, as examples. So there is that. All right, that was fun to talk about. I've mentioned I've got some more coming up, at least another 5-pack. And now that this is off my slate, I can get up onto that. And if you're watching the screen as I drive down Olive in downtown, we can see the new St. Louis Soccer Stadium when it was still under construction. That's kind of cool. What is this? Engage with your audience. Start a Q&A, start a poll. Oh, okay. toys. That could be fun. Members only live stream. Well, we're not going to do that. You know how I feel about members only stuff. Or maybe you don't. I said it a while ago. Then I assume you know it. I shouldn't do that. Start a poll. Okay, let's play with this feature. This could be fun. What did I... I need to create a poll to ask what I should ask. It's so dumb. But let's just see if it works. The question is, are you here? Start poll, yes or no. How long did they last? Does it stay up here the rest of the stream, or can you guys even see what I'm talking about? I'm on some kind of screen. Oh, we have someone said yes. What? It's not even working right. Where's the rest of the poll? All I can see is yes. I can end the poll. There's an option for that. I can't even scroll down and see the rest of the poll. I can't see how many people are saying no. Really? I could try to show you this, but it'll probably mess things up. All right, well, I'm going to assume that everybody here is here. Maybe one day I'll think of something useful or clever or interesting to ask in a poll. I can't believe I can't scroll down and see the percentage of no votes. That's like on the post comment replies. It'll let you click the emoticon option, but you can't scroll down enough to use them. How do... Renee can't see the no either. All right, well, I guess work on it. Is this the part of the live stream where I complain about YouTube? I could probably do some complaining about YouTube. I've already done some. I don't like complaining about YouTube. YouTube is actually really amazing and impressive in so many ways. We take for granted just how sickeningly well it works in some ways. We're so spoiled and expectant upon it that the moment it takes 2 extra seconds to load a page, I'm yelling at it. So I want to give it credit. I want to give it credit for the things it does brilliant. That said, there are some glaringly obvious, stupid, incompetent looking things, such as not being able to see how many no replies are on this poll that they gave me to use, and it doesn't work. And I understand YouTube is a huge Pandora's box that they opened, and it's just a nightmare, and it's a mind-boggling number of stages in the chain that can go wrong. And it's amazing it works as good as it does. It's just there's a lot of stuff they put out that's not ready for prime time. And I can't understand why someone wouldn't look at it and test it out. I guess they did. They're probably having the same problems I did trying to start this stream, where there's always some new, unexpected, unpredictable, irrational glitch in the system to bugger things up and make you look bad. So I guess I should be sympathetic and empathetic to that. It's a bit anticlimactic. So I don't know what else there is to do or say at this point. I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as I end the stream. Oh, well, it's a little late and kind of at the end of the choir, and I don't really want to whine about this, but it's at a point where I feel it's my duty to inform you. So I must. This is the equivalent of a bad earnings report given to the stockholders that's going to make the stock go down. So here's my confession of a bad earnings report. So yesterday, May 27th, and a year, as in 2025, was about my second highest watch day in history. And this has been a lackluster year so far for the channel. I felt I was getting a really good start on it, trying to put out videos prolifically. These were at the end of the year. This was Christmas time. This was put out around Christmas. Okay, here's the first video of the year, I guess. Or no, this is the last video of last year. I'm hoping there will be a Chef Salad 4. I've taken the new tactic of just making a short video of random clips without trying to let it get carried away. Like, to where it's such a monster it doesn't get done. Just put out something flippant, a representative placeholder. It doesn't have to mean anything anymore. I originally was doing it year by year. Now I'm just going to do them by volume. So look forward to that in December. Just, no, stop. I need to learn to operate my computer. This was the big going out of town video. And I thought my hyperdrive series had a touch more momentum than 47 views in 4 months, but I guess not. I've got some nice hyperdrive videos with lots of views on them, so... And it's probably going to be the last one. Between that and what happened to Hyperdrive 10... I'm not sure my heart is in the hyperdrives anymore, even though that was an early on staple of the channel. I believe, all the hyperdrives, most of the hyperdrives are from very early days. And we've outgrown them or something. I thought this was cheeky, making a terrible review of a decent hotel. Trying to game the system, trying to do what other YouTubers do. Big, foreboding red letters of badness. And I guess these are fine, I was so excited about this video. I loved filming this video. The Liminal Tour Wisconsin. I was holding on to that. I was so looking forward to getting that on the air. And hasn't really found its audience yet. I think that's generally the channel's problem. I want to try to look at this optimistically and reasonably and think that maybe YouTube is having a real hard time figuring out where I go in the Venn diagram. Because is my content all over the place, or is it all kind of in a circled theme? I feel like both at the same time. It's Schrodinger's content, if you will. Now, my scopper loading videos are some of the biggest ones. I thought this would be a big heavy hitter. Scopper loading at Dollywood in time for the season. And the results have really just kind of failed to connect. On this one, I don't know what happened, but it got a really bad click-through and a really bad watch duration. So YouTube just flat quit suggesting it. I think there might be a few people who want to watch this. And another thing that's frustrating about my scopper loading at Dollywood is, I didn't mention this when I was doing the comments, but someone wrote a comment on that video that was just everything I could ask for. They said that they loved the other scopper loading videos and that this was really good and pretty, and I mean, really really touched me in the feels. And then I don't think I even had a chance to reply to it. It was only online for a couple of hours, really early in the morning. I just happened to catch it, and they deleted it. They deleted this wonderful comment I finally managed to acquire. That was sad. I don't know if they meant to delete it or whatnot. It seems like an accident. What would be the point of saying such a nice, generous, supportive thing about my video and then deleting it? And there's no residuals anymore. It used to be when YouTube deleted something, I could still find it in the notifications or something like that. Well, no, that's something they did fix. They found a way that if you delete your comment, it hides it from me and everybody pretty well. They're probably the only ones who have it in case they need it for self-defense or something. So there's another lament. And so, yeah, I took a little break from, I guess, trying so hard. I feel like I did 8 videos kind of out the gate. I was on a really strong pace. And, well, I got deflated, I guess. Maybe it was good because I might have kept doing that. Now my quandary is, do I keep with this mad idea of doing non-St. Louis videos for a while? Because not everything I'm interested in is in St. Louis. I can't even stay in one city, much less stick to one kind of content. And that's usually seems to be where the success is at. The stereo store video guy I mentioned earlier, his channel is less than a year old, and I think he's got nearly as many subscribers as I do in 8 years. So, but he just does stereo stuff. He's got like 30 videos of stereo stuff, and he's rocking it. People, I guess people still really like a channel to be a thing, you know. This is a channel I watch for farm equipment. This is a channel I watch for stereo equipment. This is a channel I watch for bird hunting or spotting or calling or whatever, you know, all the different interests. But I've never been able to be a one interest kind of person. That's why I kept doing different kinds of jobs, I guess. I would do a job and get proficient and bored at it and want to do something else. The grass is greener on the other side of the fence, so to speak. What am I rambling about? I don't know. But I was trying to advise everyone that the channel here is kind of more desperate than ever. Let me show you what I mean. Here is our watch information in May. These are some of the behind the scene screens that I deal with. And even though it doesn't seem like I've been around, I'm just about obsessed with watching these. There's almost always one of these open at all times, no matter what else I'm doing. One of my 2 screens is showing stats, or they're very handy. So if something ticks up, I kind of know about it. And so even though I've been not answering anyone's comments for 2 months, doesn't mean I didn't notice, and I wasn't starting to think about them and how to handle it. Let me take 1 minute to fix this. I'll be back. Okay, so I warned you, this is the narcissistic whinging about little old me and my first world YouTube channel problems, but this is the real deal here, and can see these numbers are not very good. So you may or may not know, to be a monetized channel on YouTube, you're supposed to have 4,000 hours in the last 365 days. Now, there is a 3,000 hour thing, but I think there's handicaps involved. I'm still sticking with you got to have 4,000 hours in the last 365 days to stay current. I don't know if I slip below that they're going to kill the channel or demonetize it and cause me issues. I mean, if I get systematically demonetized, it might be a big bureaucratic, drawn out hassle to get remonetized. That's the fear. So I'd really like the channel to not slip before 4,000. And this is probably too little too late, because it's really bleak. And I will show you. So here we have May, 1,800 views, 200 hours watch time, down 1 subscriber this month, which is another thing too. I'm gonna complain to my little insular community here and whine and whinge about how unsuccessful I am, because it does hurt. It does kind of hurt. I feel like I'm putting in some pretty good effort, and it just almost seems, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just kind of weird that so much nothing is happening. You want to know how much so much nothing is happening? Here, I'll pull this up. Here we go. 2026. I'm up 15 subscribers. And I have gotten 0 since March 10th. It's literally flat. It just keeps bouncing back and forth. Here, look at this silly chart. Look, people keep subscribing and unsubscribing, like at the same rate practically. So I'm just spinning my wheels here. I'm going nowhere. I had this many subscribers in the last live stream 10 weeks ago. Isn't that sad? So if we look at the last 365 days, the 27th I had 400 hours, and that just dropped off. So yesterday, this watch time said 4,500 something hours. Now it's down to 4,100. And you got to remember, I got to maintain 4,000, I think. And then today, after 4 a.m. or whatever, we're going to drop off another 114 hours. So basically, I'm going to go below 4,000 in the next 2.5 hours. Hopefully, that doesn't kill everything I've got going on here. I've calculated I need 11 hours a day average to maintain my 4,000 hours a year. Hey, I guess I should end this poll. Maybe I'll see a result one day. I gotta end it. All right, it's done. Now it went away. Okay, good. So I'm pretty concerned about that. And that's, I haven't been putting anything out myself here. So that's not helping at all. This is the problem with being human and your life living in ebbs and flows. So, I mean, the the scoproloiding video was my Hail Mary. The other 2 scoproloiding videos have 4-figure views. Four-figure views at just 25% would still be worth a couple hundred hours of watch time. It's supposed to be my saving grace. So long videos, short videos, medium videos, it's all kind of the same. I don't know if people want longer videos or shorter videos from me. I know I've been craving shorter videos, but it kind of depends. It really depends. I'm running into a lot of stuff that proposes a simple question that, is mildly intriguing. And it seems like something that they could talk about and answer for you in 8 to 10, 12 minutes. But these videos are 40, 50 minutes, an hour, It's like, I don't want to. I don't want to sift through an hour to find the one answer, which is why I say I feel my content is different for a different state of mind. I wouldn't recommend trying to watch Liminal Wisconsin tour when you've got 5 minutes picking someone up or waiting for somebody or something. It's better to. I'm telling you how to watch my own stuff. So I wanted to tell you about the dramatic worry. Now, fortunately, the next few days we have some very low hours, so we hopefully can just pull this back from the brink, perhaps before YouTube notices and some automated system cuts me off. But I guess I've mentioned it now, just in case it happens. I guess we'll know on the record what happened. The channel won't go away or anything. It's just I won't be able to get my $3 a week. Well, $5 a week. I lost 2 subscribers this week. It's hard not to be a little offended or feel. What's the line? It's hard not to feel a little rejected. And I have concerns. The live stream might make people unsubscribe. If they don't like how I respond to their comments, they'll unsubscribe. And I never ask people to subscribe, so the reason for that is, as small and sad as that little number is, I feel that all those people clicked subscribe because they wanted to. It was their own idea. I've had people I've met in the real world, and I've told them about my channel. They've looked it up on the spot and subscribed, and that's wonderful social etiquette. Otherwise, I don't. I just presume you'll do it if you want. So there's that. It's a tough road to take. And that's why I think in live streams I should do more pandering to the audience and complaining and begging, and that's what theoretically 3 of you are watching and listening to now. But I'm about to wrap it up. It's getting late, and I guess I don't have as much to talk about as I thought I would. I appreciate the 4 of you checking in, saying hi, being representative. You're really quiet, though. Is this dumb? Is this boring? I mean, are you all here just to be nice? If there's 5 of you watching this whole 2-hour thing, that's 10 hours right there. We can start to pull it back from the edge. Guess I don't know, kind of hoping that someone would be, at least ask me what the heck I think I'm doing with this local commercial thing. Maybe one of the prospective business owners would have shown up and see what I'm all about. I guess it's still early. I mean, this is only 7 live streams and a couple hundred videos. Hope the music's still going. Let's check. I've been on here a while. I don't see any music. Are we between songs? Or is the part of the video that doesn't have any music? Let's go to the next one. Not that we need it, because I'm about to get off the air. Is this one louder? Huh. This one seems louder. Does this seem louder to you guys? Hey, poll complete. It's giving me a A summary of my poll. What? Renee, what are you talking about? It is louder. Okay, well, I'm not sure I was happy with the volume anyway. I thought it was probably too quiet, but now it's probably too loud, so let me fix that. There. That should be more where it was. Okay. I think I caught what you're trying to say, Renee. Try Slyman Brothers. You know what? I did. I did go to Slyman Brothers. I talked to one of the Slymans himself. And I gave him my best pitch. He's a busy man. And I could have... I think I might have gone twice. But that's kind of a guy, I think. That's a business, you know. Maybe when I got 100 of these under my belt. Someone's going to have to pick up on what I'm doing a little bit or something. Whether, you know, it's some other social media, some other St. Louis fans and people. Who knows what's going to happen? I just got to keep pressing forward. I don't expect this to manifest and work out overnight. Okay. So, that's a pretty good stream. Did all of the comments. I don't think we have any... I don't see that anyone is... anything new. Nope, not that one. Oh, hi. TDO911. We were just talking about you like an hour and a half ago. I'm about to leave. I'm glad you made it before we closed the doors. Appreciate you coming. Half the membership right here, folks. Hi. I was just saying how grateful and appreciative I was for that. Okay. Here's your last chance for questions. I'm gonna get off the horn. Hey, how about this? Any of you people watch the commercials? Did you like them? Any thoughts? Some feedback, please. I'm dying here. I'm not an AI, I swear. I'm a human. I need nurturing and emotional validation and see what I've been reduced to? I'm this shriveling emotional mass of patheticness. That's what happens when no one watches your videos. Speaking of which, where was I? I was over here. Yeah, so did I sufficiently complain about this? I can pull this up. Last 90 days. Custom. Nope, not that one. March 10th. Through now. No, come on. March 10th through now. Thank you. 79 days. Flat subscribers. 4,000 views is pretty bad too. So yeah, I need like 300 hours a month. The watch cut in half. Oh, good. Thanks, Historically Mark, for letting me know you liked him. I like the old VHS effect. Thank you. That's not a setting that comes in the program. That is kind of custom calibrated. kind of fuzzed it out and tried to clip off the sides. I couldn't trim them enough to make them the proper dimension because I had text in there and it would have made it impossible. But when they're in gallery collection form, they have the VCR effect to kind of mimic the retroness. However, after a commercial is created, the business owner may then elect to use it as an actual sponsorship piece. That's kind of the beauty of the system. If you want to get a hold of me and say, hey, you know that commercial you made? Put it on your next video for some kind of donation or something. It's one of the kind of I lost my train of thought. I got distracted by the chat. Okay. Oh, I was saying if they use it in that reason, then it won't be a VHS effect. It will be in full, normal, Dozenspeed, saturated, brightened glory, color corrected, so to speak. Full version. No one's done that yet. But 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100, who knows? Maybe. I got a few faucets trickling or opened at a trickle. Hopefully something's going to dribble out in a few places here and there. Morticia liked them, and Renee said they were excellent. 95% speed would be better. Yeah, I can see. Well, a couple of them are really fast. But the reason for that is because sometimes advertisements are obnoxious and fast. The reason is they got to be fit into 30 seconds. And that's really part of the art and the challenge is trying to make them in that 30-second thing. You're trying to get marketing is trying to get as much message into the amount of value of time possible. And it was so hard. There in the original Alpha Tech one was like 45 seconds. I had to keep cutting that back, trying to fit that in. Because it's not just 30 seconds. You don't even really get 30 seconds. I think in the industry you really get 28 seconds. But it's very important to keep that format. It's sort of the challenge. It's sort of the art. It's what can you say in 30 seconds. And I think that's what makes it kind of interesting. And it changed my stat screen somehow. What? I guess that's the same screen. Alright, I don't know. I get kind of defensive and paranoid about stuff being changed behind my back. There was someone talking about they had a car. You know, these new cars are so full of software and all this stuff. Settings buried in menus. All these different things you can tweak that you probably don't really need or thought of. And this was a setting, and they were complaining that this was actually really quite dangerous. And I don't need to go into the specifics of it. It had something to do with one pedal driving, and you can set it to be one pedal driving or drive like a normal car, and it has different behaviors. And I don't think they even updated the software. They just came out one day and the car was behaving different. And so they were going through the settings and they found this way the car behaved setting that they had selected changed on its own. According to them, but based on my experience, I absolutely believe them. I'm convinced that things are doing that. Software glitches or whatnot, but that's what makes new cars unappealing to me. I like buttons because they're always in the same place they were the day before. I think a lot of people get excited about new features added to their car with like presents. It's like Christmas morning. I came out to my car and it had a new feature on it that it was exciting. It does not excite me at all. I find it purely aggravating. As I get in the car, I want to turn on the radio or the air conditioning, and then of course the button is moved or they changed the menu and I have to find it again. It just gives me irrational aggravation. Okay. So, I think I'm done complaining. I think I have it all out of my system. Oh, this is kind of a cool screen. You can kind of see... I might not see this all the time. It's no big deal. If you play with their YouTube channel at all, you know all about this. But people don't normally show this screen, I don't think. Here we have 14 views supposedly on this live stream, and selected by 48 hours. This is kind of cool. Actually, this is good because I wanted to kind of touch on this a little bit. I promised a little behind the scenes stuff. So this vintage stereo store video, very, very strong video. Top 5 all time. Pardon me. Top 5 all time. Apparently I'm still going through puberty all these decades later. Has gotten a little bit of a surging action. The algorithm has shown a little light in favor on a little bit. That's definitely up over what it's been. There were points where I wasn't even getting 100 views for 2 days. It was something else. And then 42 on the new commercials, which that's, pretty strong for me these days. I guess I can't be complaining about that. This is very interesting. I've never seen this before. This is a post. This is my post from yesterday. And it's never given me views on a post before. There's no video to watch. So that's, I guess 24 people have clicked on it and looked at it, which is something I've kind of always been curious about and wanted. And see, YouTube does add cool stuff without you asking. And I could be privy to all of these things happening if I was constantly reading the reports. What? Don't do that. Good thing I have a safety screen back there so you don't see any sensitive information. So I thought that was curious. There's something I could talk about. And then you get these other little kind of anomalies. Let's see if this is still up here. Okay, I'm not seeing them, but a while ago I did 2 videos about the Heaven Sent Bakery, and one of them did okay, and one of them was a big fat disappointing flop for what I put into it, and no one really, did much with them. Historically, Mark watched one. He watched the big one for sure. I know he commented on it, and so that's awesome. He's a real fan apparently, but it's been real quiet. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Well, this last week, all of a sudden, both of the Heaven Sent Bakery videos. One was a farewell, like a proper farewell one, and one was that big sentimental hour-long thing, Bakery Sent to Heaven, the fly on the wall movie, so to speak. That was my real labor of love. That is one of my top personal favorites. I liked everything about it. I liked the story of how I got to filming it, and editing it, and revisiting the place, living that night over and over through the editing machine. I just enjoyed all sorts of stuff about it. I was anxious to get it finished and also sad to see it finished at the same time, if that makes sense. But that was a long time ago, and I've all kind of forgotten about it. But these 2 videos just kind of started getting a little interesting traction. And there's stuff in here that tell me where videos come from. In fact, what am I doing? I could demonstrate this stuff. If I went... Oh, it's all buried. No. All right, it's a bad idea. I shouldn't do this. Okay. I'm not prepared enough to do that. I probably already created so many vulnerabilities already. All right. Well, before I make this any worse, I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate that you guys came and are listening, and hopefully these will grow and have some kind of value, some kind of merit, and paying the dues, trying to get somewhere, and think of something to say. I hope I don't ever have to listen to this because it's going to drive me crazy. But, people live stream all the time, and they say nothing, and they just sit there and play a video game. I guess I could do that. Could just sit here and watch. We can watch my own videos. I'm just delaying because I'm going to want to say something as soon as I click end stream. I know I'm going to think of something else, and I'm just trying to get it done before I go because I don't know when I'm going to come back. It really kind of depends on whatever. I'd like to do these more frequently. Maybe that would make it more digestible. I mean, what would be better? There's pros and cons. If you just got this kicking on the second screen in the background, being mellow and find some value in it, that's great. Maybe people would be better if they were more concise and shorter. We're just going to go with the flow. We're going to keep going with the flow, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what kind of comments we get. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a regular video or commercials yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. I haven't allowed myself to think that far ahead. I've been thinking about this for weeks. Getting the commercial video done, I worked on that for weeks and weeks in a row. And then, of course, this follow-up live stream. I build it all up in my mind, and finally the clock strikes the hour I promised, and I will feel a sense of relief after I click end stream. But now we have more idea, a little more refinement as to the plan, what we're going to do, and it's I hope we keep going. I don't know what else to say. I'm just repeating myself. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And I will see you guys in the next one.